With ldcuteylady. Lady. Hey everybody, it's ldcuteylady, and I'm gonna have a story time with you guys. The scariest thing happened when it was summer, and you know how everything happens on summer when everybody tells stories on YouTube saying how their summer went, or scary things that happened on their summer, or Halloween, etc. Yeah. Can I put this down for it so I can stable my face? Okay. So, we're just gonna... Okay, so I'm gonna talk. I forgot the first thing. Now, what am I doing? Okay, so the story time is about me in summer camp. So let's get started. So one day I was in the school summer camp called the Summery. I don't know why they named it that, but yeah. So basically what happened was it was my first day, and I was like, oh, what a wonderful day, until someone came up to me saying I wouldn't go here if I were you, and I'm like, that was not my decision. That was my parents. So, anyways. So then I'm like, okay. So I walked away from them, and someone's like, hey, who is that person? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, because the person that I'm talking about is my friend. And so I'm like, hey, I'm like, who are you? And I turn around like, you go here? So anyways, it was that night before I started getting a heart attack feeling, because, you know, in summer, you don't usually get winds sometimes, but sometimes you do. But this summer was not a windy summer. So it was windy out, and I'm like, what? Why is there wind? Why is there wind? So I looked out the window, and there was no wind. So I'm like, okay, then I'm just gonna keep going. So I went back up to my bed, and I was going to sleep again, until my friend woke me up saying I'm scared because someone knocked on the door. So then I woke up, and I'm like, oh, what? She's like, I heard someone, and she's like, I heard somebody knocking on the door. So I checked outside the door, and I saw the shadow right by a tree. So I was like, there's no wind out. There's just a little teeny weeny piece of wind. So I'm like, you don't have to be scared. It's probably just wind. She's like, then what's that shadow doing there? I'm like, I don't know. It must be one of the campers going to the bathroom, because, okay, the girls had a cabin and the boys had a cabin. The girls had a bathroom and the boys did not. I was very confused by that. I was like, the boys don't have a restroom and the girls do. We got So anyways, so we got a shower and a bath in our cabin, and we had a toilet, of course, and a sink. So I'm like, we heard a door slam, and we have a little closet for the towels and bathing in our clothes, and closets outside. And the boys didn't have barely anything we had, because girls are more popular. No, I'm kidding. So, oh, there's a rubber band and it really hurts. I am back. So anyways, like I was saying, we went to, I told her to go back to bed. There's nothing to be afraid of. After that whole door thing happened, and the teachers were in a small cabin, and they were like in the woods somewhere around that part of the woods, like right by a lake. They're lucky because they get to go fishing and stuff. If you guys are not if you guys are fishing fans, comment down below if you are or aren't. Well, okay, don't say anything if you aren't. Yeah. So anyways, I was like, okay, there's nothing to be scared of. It's just the wind. And I'm like, weird that there's wind. So we went back to bed, and it was morning. But my friend's like, last night was so creepy. And I was like, true that. So we went fishing that day, and we went swimming at a little place. So then I'm like, hey, you know what we need? We need something more fun to do. So I talked to the teachers there, and I'm like, hey, we should do something fun at night, like camping. So they're like, oh yeah, good idea. So then they left with one teacher and went and got like hundreds of tents. The boys had to stay in their cabin though. This is the weirdest summer camp I have ever been to. Like, the boys never got treated the way we did. So the boys got to go swimming for 10 minutes, and we got to go swimming for 2 hours. So
Not fair.
I know, that's why I'm like, we should have the equal amount so boys don't get left out over there when we're over here. This is the royal and treated good side, and over here's the terrible side. And so I'm like, okay then. So then, after the teachers came back from the camp, I'm like, and she's like, and my friend's like, why'd you tell the teachers that we're going to go camping, if we could go camping tonight? And they agreed, but why would you say that after what happened last night? I'm like, who cares about last night? Who cares? Like, who
Care.
Who the freak cares? I did not know then that anything bad was going to happen tonight. So then we heard wolves howling. And before that ever happened, in the afternoon, we heard somebody there was these okay, here, let me explain. So there was these huge pieces of woods, all around the camps. Dramatic. So, the teachers' cabins are right by it. So that's the scariest place to freaking sleep in every night until summer's over. But anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. So anyways, so we heard somebody crunching in the woods. We go fake hunting, and the boys get to stay in their cabins. And you know what's the weirdest thing? We get TVs in our cabin. In the girls' cabin. And the boys have to play on their devices. And the best thing about this place was literally, I swear to God, there is literally, I swear, a game console in there. So we had Minecraft, and
I'm playing Minecraft right now.
And something else. I forgot. But I think Warcraft? I don't know. I don't remember all the games. I do remember Minecraft, since I'm a big fan of Minecraft right now. I do remember that and by the way, guys, this was when I was 13. Well, yeah, 13. I'm trying to think back. So then I played on my phone and made a video to remind me and put it in my memory videos. So then I was just filming until someone banged on the door. I'm like, Haley. But I was creeped out, so I dropped my phone. I woke up my friend. She's like, what? And then she heard the banging too, so we're like, how are we going to call the teachers to see who this is? They looked out the window. It was one of the boys named Justin. No, the black boy from school. But anyways, so a boy named Justin knocked on the door, banging, saying, help, help. So we let him in. He slammed the door, locked it, and said, can I stay here for the night? There's some creepy guy following me. So I was confused, and I'm like, how do you know there's somebody following you, or if this is just all in your head or something? So he's like, no, this is not all in my head. You see that shadow over there? Now he's walking back to a cabin. So I'm like, the teacher's cabin. He was like, you know what? I just want to stay in this cabin for now because I just don't want to be in the situation where. But I'm like, stop. Where are the other boys? I'm sleeping. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty normal. So I let him in. He took a really quick shower. And he went to the bathroom for an hour. not kidding about that. Seriously.
Nasty.
I don't. Okay, so then after all that, he's like, where could I sleep? And I'm like, in my bed. I'll sleep in my friend's bed with her. He's like, okay. So it was the next morning, and the teacher said there's a mysterious guy was following every camper last night, every boy camper that was in there. So then they sent us home, and Justin before his mom was going to be an hour late, that's why she texted to him, he told me. And I saw him going towards the woods. And I was very confused, like, why would he be going towards the woods? Because that's where everything started. So I ran up to him like, hey, what are you going to the woods for? It's a dangerous thing. You never know what's out there, what's out there, what kind of animal, what kind of people there are. He's like, you see that house over there? That's the guy's house that he was walking back to last night and where he came from. I was like, okay. So I'm like, you should really be getting home. And it was the craziest summer ever, but we still haven't figured out the guy. So he ran up to the house, and I'm like, whoa, Justin, what the frick are you doing? That's like a dangerous spot, since, you never, okay, first of all, if you guys go up to a stranger's house that you don't know, don't go there, because you never know if they're gonna rape you, kidnap you, or kill you, because any of those things can happen. So I'm like, Justin, you never know what's gonna happen to you, and all that kind of stuff. So then the teachers came by and it's like, why are you knocking on this random guy's door? So he's like, the guy was following me last night. I'm like, so his mom came and ran up to him like, is everything okay? Why is he up to the stranger's house? Why is this and this and this and this happening? So then he went home, and I gave him my phone number because I don't know why. I seriously, I don't know why I would give him my phone number, since, So the weirdest thing happened. At my house, someone was banging on my window, since I live like 6 miles away from there, about like an hour, like 2 or 1 hour away from there. So someone was banging on my window. There was no wind. So then I'm like, okay. So and then my sister ran in saying, someone's at the door, someone's at the door, someone's at the door. I'm like, I step back and I'm like, okay, here's the deal here. We're going to call the cops and everything's going to be okay. She's like, no, this guy looks familiar. I'm like, Justin? I let him in. He's like, someone killed my parents. I'm like, whoa, stop there. Are you sure they're not out for a drink without telling you? He's like, they did leave me a note saying help. So I was like, okay, come in. So I was like, what's your parents' phone number? So I gave them a call, and they're like, the weirdest voice. Like, he's like, hello? I'm like, hi, do you know where Justin's parents are? So he's like, who is this? So I was like, I was creeped out, and Justin was like, I miss my mom and dad. I'm worried about them. I'm like, don't you have a little brother? And he's like, yeah, but he's with my dad right now. Oh, not my dad. My grandpa right now. I'm like, okay. So I stood up for him. I let him stay at my house for a couple of days. I told my parents because I didn't want them saying what's going on. The police arrived at our house and knocked on the door saying, where's Justin? I'm like, he's right here. He's like, your parents are looking for you. And I was like, I thought, so he's like, so they contacted the number, and it was their parents. So he's like, Mom, Dad, are you home? And I haven't seen them in 2 years after that. After that happened, I'm like, I kept calling him like more than 5 times, more than like 18,000 times. So I'm like, I left him like 100 voice messages, like, Justin, are you doing okay? What's going on? Every day I left him that voice message until he called me. He said, help me, I'm stuck in a sewage. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I checked,